Hello, disobedience. Welcome to episode 8 of the Disobedient podcast. Today, we are going to talk about 7 ways to make money as a creative. So, I have been teaching a lot of stuff on the page, things I have learned in past, over a decade of my experience as a creative. But all of the things were about, how to be more confident, how to be more consistent, how to build an audience, how to do different things. But I willingly refrained from talking too much about monetization. Number one, because I have tried out only a couple of things. So I am not a monetization expert, right? So I do not want to talk about things that I don't have personal experience in. That is number one. And number two, most people on the page don't want to learn about monetization. They are like, they have a different level of problems going on in their lives. So yeah, they are not able to be consistent. They are worried about hate comments. They are worried about how their artwork would be perceived, etc., etc. Right? But I realized that if I don't teach you how to make money, so money is like the proof of concept in our society of any work that you're doing, right? So how do you know that whatever it is that you're doing is working? It's working because you're making money out of it. So if you have to convince your parents, you need to make some money. If you have to convince yourself to, quit your full-time job and start being a creator, you have to make money. If you have to hire a page manager, you need to have some money coming in to convince yourself, even though you might have the money to hire a part-time page manager from your job that you're doing. You need to start making some money to prove to yourself that okay, this thing is working, now I can invest some money into it, right? So I thought, okay, let me list down the things, list down different ways in which creative people can make money. And not all of these are, I have personal experience in. A couple of these, I will say 2 or 3 things I have tried and they have worked very well for me, but rest all are just things that I have observed from creatives around me, and hope this list really helps you. So the number one way to start making some money as a creative is to freelance. You learn a skill and you offer it. You offer it to people who might be needing it. So for example, if you are a writer, you reach out to businesses who might be needing someone to write their blog. You reach out to someone who wants their LinkedIn post written, who wants their Instagram post written. Reach out to them and see if you can work together with them. I would say this is the easiest way to monetize your craft, because you do not have to be too good. You just need to be decently good at something, so that other people can find ways to use your skill to get business benefits from it. The second way to monetize your craft, I would say, which comes after you have done freelancing for a while, is to offer some services. So by now you have been, freelancing for a few months. You have been seeing how other people, different business owners, utilize your skills in different ways. And you have been able to see what is the best and most profitable way to utilize your skill. So as a writer, for example, you could be working with someone to write their blog post. You could be working with someone to write their landing pages. You could be working with someone to write their social media posts. And then after working for like a couple of months, you realize, okay, the most money is made, or I am most good at writing sales pages or landing pages, convincing someone to buy something. Now you know that, okay, this is the X factor in me. And then you let go of all other services you were offering as a freelancer, and you only focus on writing landing pages. And now that could become your streamlined service. So to create a service, first you need to explore a lot of different things, and then find out the most repeatable way in which you can deliver a custom result to a client. So in freelancing, you are like, hey, this is my skill, do whatever you want with it. You can make me do anything around this skill. In a service, you say, hey, this is the result I would get for you, and this is how much I charge for it. So because you are delivering a promised result over here, you can charge much more as a service. And over time, you can hire more people into your team and create an agency out of it. The third way to monetize your craft is to create a product. So find out what it is that people want, and then create something around it and sell it. So for example, if you are a painter, you could create beautiful paintings and auction it. If you are a writer, you could publish a book, that becomes your product. Or you could publish a graphic novel, that becomes your product, right? Or you can create an NFT, that becomes your product as well. So the thing with product is you create it once and you can sell it to multiple people. Number 4 is create merches. So a merchandise is basically a product, but the differentiating factor is that you sell a merchandise to an already existing fan base. So if you are just starting out, if you have like, very little following, very little loyal fan base, you cannot create a merch. It makes no sense to create a merch and put it on Amazon so that random people can buy it. If I put out my merch named Saurabh and put it on Amazon, no one is going to buy it because they don't know who Saurabh is, or they don't know who Planet of Disobedience is, right? So creating a merch only makes sense when you have established fan base. It does not need to be very big, but it needs to be substantial. People should love you enough to buy something with your tag name, your name, your logo on it. That is why I have kept merchandise below product on this list, because in the sequence of different ways you can try to monetize as a creative, product comes first, because it does not require you to have a fan base. It does not require you to have a loyal following. You can just create a product and see how people react to it. But if for a merch, you need to have a loyal fan base. In fact, the whole list that I'm talking about right here is in a sequential basis. So first you can try out freelancing, and then if it works, you can get into services, and then product, then merch, and here continues the list. And next in the line is online courses. So once you have been doing your skill for some time, you have been practicing it, you have been trying to get better at it, you can create an online course around it. It does not need to be massive. You can simply record 30 to 60 minutes around a skill that you are really confident about. You don't even have to teach the entire skill. You can just pick up one particular subset and create a course around it. It is the most scalable way to monetize your craft, because you just have to record it once and you can keep selling it. If you are solving a real problem with your course, with your online course, so someone has been suffering with this particular issue in their craft or in their marketing or in any particular aspect for like past 2 years, and you gave them your 30-minute or 60-minute course, and it suddenly solved it. It suddenly solved that problem. Now they are going to remember you for life, right? So if you do it right, it has the biggest impact. It's the most scalable model, because you just have to create it once, and then you only have to focus on how to sell it better. Next on the list is to create a membership website. So a membership website is, for example, you created a course and you created another course, and you have a third course. You could at some point realize, okay, I have this whole ecosystem of courses. You can learn this. First you can learn your craft, then you can learn how to be consistent at it, and then you can learn how to monetize it. So now you have the whole ecosystem ready. So you can say, instead of accessing all these different products, different courses of mine, you can just buy my membership and have access to everything in one place, along with the community aspect, because other people who are buying into the same thing are naturally moving towards the same goal. So membership is a great way to go about it. But again, as I said, it's in chronological order. When you are just starting out, you cannot think about creating a membership, because that's too early. The last is sponsorships. So in sponsorships, why I have kept it at last, because for someone to give you some sponsorship, you need to have a big enough following. You cannot reach out with 50 followers and say, ask Skillshare, for example, to sponsor your content, right? You need to have a substantial following. And the good news of how the whole sponsorship industry is moving is, these days brands and companies don't really look at how big your following is. They look at how engaged your audience is. So even if you have like a couple of thousand, 2,000 or 3,000 followers, and they are well engaged, you can get good sponsorships from people, from different companies. So it's a very good way of making passive income, because you have to create content which you are anyway creating, and you get paid for it, just to put their logo somewhere, or just to put their poster in between, or something like that. So to get sponsors, you can either reach out to different companies via cold email. Write a two or three sentence cold email. Hey, this is my page, this is how we can help you, and would you be interested in offering us this much money? For just an example, right? You can Google how to write cold emails, or you can simply create accounts on different influencer websites. So you can simply Google, I guess, micro influencer websites, and you will get a list of different websites where you can go sign up. You can create your account, and you can enter your page, and they will put your name in front of different companies who are looking for people whom they can sponsor for their content, right? So these are the few ways you can go about it. If you're just starting out, I would say learn a skill good enough You don't need to be too good, and start freelancing, offer your services. And there are websites like freelancer.com, upwork.com, fiverr.com, where you can go and create an account and list yourself, and from there you can start getting some clients. Or again, you can go, directly cold email people, or cold outreach, cold DM people, hey, this is what I offer, would you like to hire me? Then once you have some experience, you know how to utilize your skill, you can create a product. Then once you have some experience, you know how to utilize your skill, you can create a service. And then you can go the agency route, or you can create a product, an in-demand product, and figure out the manufacturing, fulfillment, and things like that, and start selling your product. Once you have a loyal enough audience base, you can go for merches, you can create your own merchandise. That's a very good marketing tactic as well. So for example, if I sell you t-shirts where it's written Planet of Disobedience, and I once you pay me first to get that t-shirt, and then you roam around wearing that t-shirt, so my name is going around in the world, and I'm getting paid for having you promote my name among your friend circle. So that's a very good way to go about it, if you have a loyal enough fan base at this point. Then you can also think about creating a course. If you have mastered your skills sufficiently, you can take a sub niche of that particular skill and create a small info based course around it and sell it to people. And once you have a big enough following, you can reach out to different companies and have them sponsor your content. So these are the 7 ways in which a creative can go about monetizing their content and get that proof of concept, right? You don't need to become a millionaire just trying out these things. You just need to see the first few couple of dollars flowing in, to convince yourself, to convince the society around you, your parents, your friends, your spouse, that hey, this is something that can make us money if we become serious about it.